It's time. It's almost time. The players are knifing up. This best of three has rather large implications, James. Rogue against Complexity. Complexity with the upset win against NRG yesterday. Not sure many people expected that, but that certainly changes how I'm looking at this game, because now I look at Complexity, if they're able to carry that form forwards, as a clear favourite against Rogue.
Yeah, I was about to ask you who you favoured, but you have answered the question. I am leaning towards Complexity as well.
Yes.
I believe in Stanislaw. I believe in him. That said, I mean, a lot of people have been firing on all cylinders this weekend for both teams, such as Ye. Cadian seems to be in the best form I can remember seeing him in. That partly depends on opponents as well. So this should not be a simple affair for him. And Mirage, I think, will be an interesting one as far as the CT snipers are concerned, because window will be a problem as per usual because of the Molotovs and smokes and so on. So it will be very curious indeed. Rogue starting on the CT side here on Mirage. Complexity have a conga line going towards the B bomb sites, it seems.
Yeah, it's going to be a fast one into that B site, and we'll see Vice ready and waiting. I can't find the first fast frag. It's Hiko to try to do some damage, but only gets one. That may not be good enough here, because the T's will be able to lock out the bomb site fairly effectively. They saved a smoke for the window to make life even more difficult. Ricket could perhaps be the one to create some space for his teammates here. If he's able to do some damage, he has given his presence away to the T's. But they do not seem all that concerned just yet. All eyes on the shot position as Shazam goes for the Y peak, and it looks like, in fact, Rogue will open things up.
2v2, Cadian has the defuse kit in tow, picked up from a dead teammate. Android from the back, though. Stereo frags for Complexity, and that is a pistol round in the bag for the T side. Let me look to their anti-eco, and we see if Rogue will go for the full force. Eco has dropped a scout for Cadian, which probably means he will leave money in the hole. What does he buy? I guess he bought a CZ for a teammate and threw it. He's decided to pick up the decoy as well. And he'll keep 1,300 in the hole, so worst case scenario, he still has the AWP on the buy round.
And I like how they're actually just going for the same play, just straight up. For some reason, my mic was stuck on mute there for a moment. Apologies. And we'll see that there'll be an initial entry, but the CTs are causing quite some problems here. They can't quite get the bomb down. It's on the floor, in fact, and there's so much time here that's been bought for Complexity, or rather, sorry, for Rogue to get this rotation in, but at the moment they're sort of just sitting on the extremities of the bomb site. Stanislaw could make a big difference here, managing to take down Vice. He's going to find one more player as well, so that information is there for Complexity. It's going to be pretty difficult for Rogue to really do all that much, but what they can do, despite not having a chance to win the round, is you can see they're going for this contain. It's a pretty decent contain as well. Of course, there is one position that is safe, well, a couple positions that are safe, shorts and shop. And it looks like Complexity do realize, are they actually going to move towards this? This is kind of dangerous. Going to move straight into the CDs who are set up on this position. And Android, with the jump, is able to do enough there to draw out enough bullets to eventually get the kill. And that'll be another round for Complexity. But I do like how Rogue made that a little bit painful for Complexity, keep their economy honest. And I think there's a very realistic chance in that situation where, where you see Complexity moving into them, that they actually get a couple of kills and pick up guns. So definitely some risk there taken by Complexity, but it's a good way to start things out, to really say, we're not afraid, we're ready to just barrel through you. We will not bend to your wishes. And here for Rogue on the full eco, we'll see the full stack on that B bomb site. All 5 players pretty much. Vice in somewhat of a float position over by the shop. He is a flotation device.
You're a floater, Dan.
Flotation device.
Like a poo that just will not flush.
Oh, that's charming. Vice will spot a bunch of players in mid, and there's not a huge amount that Rogue can really do with this information. They are going to be strongest when they're just static, set up in this stack. If they start moving around with just mere USPs, it's very difficult for them to do too much. And there is a real argument, too, to just say, you know what, if they go A, they go A. We at least do not give the SMGs a lot of bonus money. So that's something we've also been seeing from teams.
Vice looks towards A, sees nothing doing, and the team of Rogue will stay in situ over towards the B bomb site. Android, though, is having a look, but will he concentrate on flanking the B players? Vice leaving the window position. Has he got the info? 40 seconds left, and his team look committed towards the B bomb site, but Vice may hear Android's cue. Will that cause a rotation from Rogue? Surely Sick hears the players running in the underpass now. There is a window for them to run towards CT on A, but they will choose to stick where they are, so I do not expect a rotation from this CT side. Def keeping an eye on things round the back, and the bomb has been planted. Now, Rogue, do you run at these players and potentially give up bonus money to these SMGs, or do you stay on the B bomb site? They're choosing to push, maybe to try and get something out of this scout. At least they all died to AKs. That is a bonus. That's a chunk of bonus money for Complexity, $1,500. But it could have been a lot more, so I suppose there's that.
But they're powering up Ye. He got 4 kills there. He's feeling it. We saw that Ye, or at least for me, most notably Ye, was really impressive for Complexity. He did so much damage, has loads of clutches, it's looked really on point. And if he's playing like that, then the Complexity that defeated NRG yesterday could absolutely continue to serve some domination to their opponents here. Android will get picked off, just going for a quick play. Instead of sort of lurking for that position, he shows first. And looks like Cadian will start things off well with the help of Hiko. They are defending the bomb site pretty effectively. They can't really make it out of the apartment's Complexity. Bomb now on the ground. Ye looking to go for the lurk up short. And it does seem as though he is completely undetected thus far. Cadian does have the angle. And Ye is looking for the one way he can get a kill out of this position.
Nobody's looking at mid. 5 alive. Something for review. Rickey's looking at A. Cadian is now looking at mid from the short position, but not connector per se, but Rickey does have an angle for that. But the formation has taken too long. Cadian has a blind spot in his scope, so if Ye was to peek, there's a reasonable chance he could shoot Cadian. But that would maybe be the extent of his damage.
I like that he's actually just using all the time. If he just, because if he saves, it's actually fine. His money's still with his team pretty much. And the money for Rogue is really sketchy. So if he can find ways to get kills, that's perfect. There's one. Oh, he's getting shot in the back now. But it's a good effort from Ye. I'd like that he really tried to do as much as he possibly could from that position.
First round on the board for Rogue. Second AWP will be purchased again. Stanislaw on a UMP. He may get an upgrade later if a teammate dies or he picks somebody off. And one would expect him to be, I was going to say in the passive position or lurker position. He is offering some grenades towards top mid. Okay then, he's just going to go out there raw and get picked off by Cadian. Early advantages for Rogue.
Going in dry. Suffers a very quick demise. Shazam looking to get something when the smoke goes away. Did he see any pixels there? No pixels to be found. Oh, maybe he's got an inkling. There's an nade shot over though, and Vice finds himself dead. He was boosted up, and it all starts to tumble down here for Complexity. They have to make this work with the push from the pit position. There's only actually Sick who's close to the A bomb site to really stop a plant. So if they only realize that, but it's so difficult for them to do so with no smokes down. And finally a smoke will be put down, but now it's just Shazam. He's got so much work to do, and he's going to get taken out straight away by Cadian, who was awaiting patiently with that AWP on the short area. And Rogue will have 2 rounds in a row now, and finally, Complexity's money has run out.
$2,000 to $3,000 per person for Complexity. Rogue well equipped to deal with what little Complexity have to offer to them this round. 2 Desert Eagles, a P250, Stanislaw with a HE grenade, which has been deployed somewhere. Towards connector, perhaps. And now he has the one flashbang for the burst. A waterfall of 4 Complexity players towards the A site. There goes the flashbang. Out comes the burst. Sick, I think he got a warning maybe from Rickey that that flash was coming. Looks away from it, and the damage will be limited. Lovely flick from Rickey towards the end there. Styling and profiling. Easy 3rd round for Rogue.
So now Complexity get to buy the AKs again after that last round. Quickly back into the pressure. Well, they changed the approach. They should realize there's 2 AWPs out. They know that KDN was AWPing from short. They saw that. And obviously, Ricky showed his AWP in the last round. So they know there's 2 AWPs. So you'd like to see them reflect the play that they choose to be good at dealing with double AWPs. Often that can be set piece. We've got 3 players towards B apps, and Vice will push the B apps and get a kill onto Def. And maybe they'll read that was just sort of a lurk play in the default. Oh, hello. Shazam with a very nice elevated position up on the fence there, catching KDN. And they know one AWPer is dead. The AWPer towards B is gone. Will that encourage them to go there? Looks like that's not the case because the bomb is moving towards the pit position. They've got a actually 4-pronged attack here coming into the A site. A jungle connector, Palace and pit. It's a lot for Rogue to deal with.
Only possession of CTA for Rogue. Vice moving slowly through apartments, maybe because he expects somebody to potentially be top mid. So there's a lot to do. Ricky gets 1 kill to buy some time. Stopping the bomb plant. Vice advancing now, trying to use his time pressure to get closer. 2 versus 3. They've made it winnable, the CT side. Hiko picks off Ye in the shadow position. Question is, where are Shazam and Stanislaw? Vice at risk of walking into a trap. And now they have all the information and complexity. Hiko and CT. Vice, oh, Shazam surely should have had that one. Now Stanislaw is alone. Position not revealed just yet. Smoke on the bomb to ask questions. Hiko, has he touched it just yet? I'm not sure he has. Can he find it? There it is, finally. Stanislaw having a look now. He doesn't seem to believe it. Hiko's just holding it this whole time. And there is a defuse and the frag from Vice. And now Rogue take the lead.
Very nicely done. 4 rounds in a row. It's pretty cool retake. Definitely not always going to go their way. It's a very good spot for Complexity. They'll be very disappointed that they couldn't make that work. Again, having the 4-pronged attack like they did, restricting the CT's retake in so many ways, and still unable to capitalize. But it looks like they fancy their chances on A. A 3-man push from Rogue and mid at the same time. So this is going to be a bit chaotic. Ricky with the first shot, it's going to connect as well. And he's seen a player drop by the fireboxes. So right now, it's a bit tough here for Complexity. They do manage to smoke off some of these choke points to alleviate some of the difficulty. However, planting the bomb is risky business, especially on this side. Ricky knows his angles. Stanislaw, though, he lives to tell the tale. It's a 3v3 after plant now. And he catches Ricky as well. Oh, a second one! Beautiful, and everyone is dead.
Very nice from Stanislaw. Lead by example. Rogue, for the most part, can purchase again. Sick is short on money, but the rest should be okay. A tight start to Mirage from these 2 sides. That was 4 rounds in a row for Rogue. Complexity with a tactical timeout. So let's see what these teams will have to offer. Maybe an estimate of what to expect from their opponent, perhaps. Ricky and KDN will both have sniper rifles for this round.
It'd be cool to see Complexity do the same set piece actually, because we're gonna have double AWPs again for Rogue, and that's something though that they don't necessarily know. It's hard for them to know exactly how much money. I mean, they can work it out if they look at the scoreboard, how many players survived and so on. They should be able to hazard a guess. But we can see that Rogue have really stretched themselves to get the double AWPs in play. So Complexity will offer a different approach to the previous rounds. Def once again trying to harass the B apartments. Oh, hello, Vice again trying to deal with Def, and he's going to do so, but he's not ready. Perhaps they thought that was just one player, a lurker, but no, it's the entire forces of Complexity. But KDN's ready for it, not whiffing a single shot as they make their way in. And now it's very difficult for Stanislaw and Ye. How can they push this position? They are so stuck at the moment. No way to deal with Hiko, no way to deal with KDN. It's all about Stanislaw just getting some damage. He has not seen Sick.
That play from KDN was really awesome. He gets the first shot from the window player, but while he has the cooldown on the shot from the AWP, you can see how he's jiggle peeking, and he spots the second player jump past. You see that? So he can communicate to his teammates that one player has jumped past. They can reposition, and then he takes out the third player. Really smart stuff. You'll see that kind of thing often from AWP players during the cooldown. Of course, they can move faster than if they could with the scope, so they make the most of it. Very efficient play from Cadian.
Speaking of which, he escapes with 1 HP. I don't think he even got a shot off because he was so worried about getting wrecked by those grenades. And in the meantime, Sick is going to cover with the help of Vice and Rikke, and everything's going to come into play here for Rogue, and it's going to end up being fairly clean. Cadian naded down to 1 HP. That is...
He would have lost a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, he really would.
But that 1 HP saves him a good $6,000.
Yeah.
Pretty much exactly what he has left in the bank, actually. So that is very important for the economy of the CT side. Meanwhile, we see on the T side 2 UMPs now. Stanislaw's been joined by Ye in the SMG club. See what Cadian does with this Molotov at the back of the boxes. Forces them away. Can't see Stanislaw. There's a smoke down, of course. And there's a quick boost onto the bricks, onto the short position. Now, Vice later on with this crawl space being broken can sit back on those bricks, which will give him a view of Tees walking into connector.
So Complexity just trying to gain position still. They've got middle. Rogue sort of feeling it out and just waiting for the next move. We see the smoke there. That smoke is indicative of a short push. We can see Stanislaw's going for that. Vice is going to be able to defend though, which really dampens the opportunities for Complexity because they've got to deal with Vice. You see a solo play to Vice. Shazam with the pop flash. It's going to work. And in the meantime, Def wins the 1v1 in the B apartments. It's up to Cadian, and he's already starting things off very well.
That seems to have halted the push towards the B-bomb site. Now they're making plays in the underpass, but Cadian's close enough to hear the running. I think there may have been some steps. We saw some jerking of the W button, but you can take almost a whole step without making any noise. I'm not quite sure, but just in case, there's a Molotov down. Cadian puts a smoke at the back to make sure he can see. Spots the player going towards the stairs position. I think he only saw one of the 2 players in that area. And now the T's know where both CTs are, but they've got no more smoke grenades to plant the bomb. They could throw that one flashbang over into mid to do exactly that, give them some breathing room, allow them to move forward. Now they've got a 2 versus 1 versus the guy they know is in CT spawn, taking an alternative angle. Pop flash is there, but Sick won't stop the bomb from going down.
Shazam's in a pretty tough spot, but he's got an opportunity here. It's got to be very sharp indeed, and he doesn't account for Cadian pushing from connector. The round goes to Rogue. Complexity have, despite having, losing so many rounds to Rogue of late, they've been giving it a good go. I've been enjoying some of the ways that, and this is very typical of teams that have been with Stanislaw for a while. You see at every sort of phase of the round, there's a plan, and even if it is going to devolve into some mid-round, it always seems like there is a plan. So.
One cool thing we saw from Shazam on short, when he was very close to the ladder rim, he flashed himself in, which I was curious about because it was very obvious if there's a guy in ladder rim, which they know there was, he's going to hear it. But then Shazam knows that as well, and he knows the guy will easily turn away, so he peeked before the flash went off and got a free frag. Nice play from him. So again, good awareness from both these sniper plays in different scenarios, but it is a 7-4 to Rogue, and again, Cadian, he's just on point this tournament.
Yeah, he's absolutely hitting everything. This is a really strong start from him, and it's so needed against a form of Complexity in this tournament. Vice able to be the traffic controller. He's put up the big red light. No one else able to traverse the short area, and that's going to be another round for Rogue. 8 rounds now, 4 in a row. They are looking fantastic. And again, it's not as though Complexity have been struggling to come up with ideas. They've been coming up with some pretty good ideas and seeing them through with some good execution, but Rogue are just pretty solid right now. So we'll see a tactical timeout here from Complexity to try to understand exactly what the approach should be as the half closes out. And perhaps to assess, what they feel as though... Because I feel there's always going to be rounds which you've run where you didn't get the win, but you have to assess later on, okay, did we get advantages? Do we feel like the other team just sort of... they had like a 30% chance and, they just played really lights out and we missed some shots and, that we should run that round again or not? That's really perhaps what they're thinking about now. The set pieces they have run so far have been pretty effective in getting them towards the bomb plant and getting opening kills. It looks like they're going to go back to that.
Grenades being lined up. Seeing more variation in a grenade since the ceiling was raised or deleted, which one it is. Much more freedom to throw smokes. Shazam, what peak was that? Do you wonder if Ricky was looking at the radar or something, because normally he would react a lot faster. Speaking of fast, Ye shooting 6 straight in the face. Is this a safe situation for Rogue? Certainly is now. Vice and Cadian remain. 3 unanswered frags coming the way of Rogue. And imagine, it feels like it's been a while since Complexity's logo was in a major. I think well, yeah, it's been a while. And I'm sure Monsieur Lake would be very happy to see them back.
You're right about Ricky. When I was looking at that fight, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to win this one. I would put money on him winning that one. It really seemed like he would, but very slow to the shot. And that's where everything fell apart after that. Because if he actually wins that frag, then it's going to be really interesting, because suddenly, how do you deal with this guy this AWPer that could still just be holding that position really close? And then Complexity have to make an adjustment. But in removing him straight away, they could just execute the set piece and clean house. Very fast peek from Shazam, very nicely done.
Imagine those peaks before they nerfed the movement speed on AWP.
Yeah.
The crouch peaks were absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about it, isn't it?
2 rounds left in the first half of map number 1. Complexity deploying these smoke grenades pretty quickly again. And this time there is a second smoke on short. It's an interesting combination, the smoke in the window and the deep smoke on short, as well as the grenades into the connector position. It allows you to make those fast plays towards short that you'd normally see with 2 smokes on short. Both teams fighting for position in mid. CT's not giving it up just yet. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Where did he come from?
Okay, this is quite the flank. He could just win the round for Complexity. His job is to clear the apartments, obviously the site too, but that's where the big issue is. Oh, he's going to get spotted by Cadian. Oh, that could have been close. Cadian almost had time to get the shot. Def does a huge amount of damage to Hiko, but he does not kill him. And now he's picked up the AWP. Hiko can still save this. That's a great first shot. Shazam with a catch towards the shot position. But Hiko with the AWP doing incredible amounts of damage. Now Android has to play out a 1v2. And the bomb is not down. And he has no idea which way to look. Rick will take him out. Brilliant stuff from Hiko there.
Really important he wins that first duel after Cadian goes down. Really important. And most of you probably never seen Hiko or before unless you watch his stream, but I know in casual play that he likes to pick that AWP up a hell of a lot, so he is no stranger to it.
Yeah, imagine if Def gets the kill on him. It's the round 1 for Complexity.
Pretty much.
Likely, so.
Yeah, they're not going towards B after that.
Crazy.
And now here we are with 3 AKs and 2 pistols for Complexity, and it's Ricke's turn to get some revenge on Shazam after the ramp play from earlier on. Trying to escape with the Molotov down on triple is compromised where he can go. 1T on the bench, still no kills though for Complexity. And now there is. Vice has been taken out. Ooh, 6 through the smoke. This is a problem.
Yeah, these fast A players have been definitely doing favors for Complexity, but here comes the flank. Cadian with the fast shot to Android. And now he's posing quite the threat, splitting this defense up. Oh my god, he actually had time to get the AWP out, but still goes down, unfortunately for him. Hiko looking to make things work with this rifle, but he's got so many players to deal with. It's a nice find, but okay, 7 HP, not going to happen. Yay, we'll stop it. In Complexity, pick up a much-needed round at the end of the half, and despite the streak of round losses for Complexity, it never felt like they were out of the game.
Yeah, the scoreboard, the middle of the scoreboard doesn't look very good, with 8 of 9 rounds won by Rogue, but this is, I mean, we've seen this before, not going in Complexity's favor, and they've managed to pull a W out. So by no means, I mean, it's only 3 rounds. The pistol will be very key. If Rogue win this pistol, they are in a very strong position starting at 9-6. Very strong. This is a very key pistol round for Complexity.
Yeah, it's It's definitely going to be hurt a lot for Complexity. Stanislaw with the spots of the rush doesn't get a headshot just yet, and it starts to get harder and harder the closer the Glocks get. The best opportunities perhaps for Stanislaw may have passed, or maybe not. They still aren't able to swarm him. There's actually so many CTs all over the place. Complexity look absolutely good for this one. And indeed, they're going to close it up, I think. Vice 1v5. Not a single man going down for Complexity. You can see that. That is something that they are quite happy about.
That is a giant opportunity loss for Rogue, as explained. 9-6 to win the pistol. You're probably looking at 12-6, and then you may have a dejected opponent to make you feel more depressed. But no, Complexity win that pistol, and now 9-9 is likely. Although the force buy is here for Rogue. We see the CZs and the Desert Eagles. Now, everybody has full bought into this one. No one is saving for a sniper rifle. They want to reset again. It's still a big opportunity for Rogue if they can win this round. And they've put everything into trying to do that. 2 smoke grenades, 2 flashbangs here for the T side. 3 players starting over towards A. On a normal buy round, if you have more than 1 player going towards A on the T side, it pretty much tells you where the intentions are for the round. 3 on a force buy, even more so. Vice and Cadian biding their time for now, looking for a curious CT. But the CTs are being patient again. In a round like this, you want to try and use as much range as possible. Ye is able to do that, looking through the underpass while Shazam holds top mid.
The first half was so very fast by nature of the T sides from Complexity. It's interesting to see how different the pace is now. It's seems so quiet all of a sudden. And a quick burst top mid here for the pistols to try to get some kills. Ye was a little bit in the open, but he does manage to now find some cover to work with as these Ts will go down systematically one after the other. Ye will continue to push. Little flash. Won't help Ricky though. Cadian, on the other hand, has found himself, he's on a bit of a runner. Ooh, it's actually going to be good for a frag, so guess that's pretty worth it. Either way, Complexity will be happy as Larry. And, you know, all they have to do now is just kill some...
But who is Larry?
Glock-wielding players. So probably someone who's very happy, presumably.
You don't know him personally?
I mean, otherwise that phrase would not really make much sense, right? If he was just really sad and it was just used ironically.
Who is Larry, though?
Are you actually Googling it?
Yeah.
Googling the phrase, see. Yes. Well. You're next you're going to be Googling who is Bob? Who is Uncle Bob? And Bob's your uncle. Right, so look at this again. We see incredible patience here from Rogue, just chilling out. A lot of teams want to just get this round over with. Some teams use it as a timeout. Because
theory is that Larry was from Australia or New Zealand, Dan.
Oh, that's the theory, eh?
But they're not sure quite who. There are a few suspects as to who Larry is. One of them is a boxer from Larry Foley, who was born in 1847. He was a successful pugilist who never lost a fight. He retired at 32 and collected a purse of £1,000 for his final fight. So perhaps...
Wow, that's a lot of money back then.
Perhaps that is the Larry.
Yeah, that's a lot of money back then, right? Probably
Maybe
50k or something.
40 seconds remain, and Rogue have the Glock train. Ye is by triple, and he has silenced M4, so that could get interesting. But Android is being very he's trying to conserve his bullets as best he can, and he will unload on Ricky and save the silenced M4. One person lost. I think Rogue will be happy with that. Glocks into A, get one kill. Got to be happy with that. That's a successful Glock train.
That's okay. It's all good. 9-9. Scores are tied. Up onto Shaz. Shazam. Oh, that was supposed to be a shot. Happens. It's like Rogue are just wanting to get into that B bomb site straight away, and with some quick harassment in middle, perhaps that will tell them something. But the CTs are pushing pit at the same time, although the push is coming in now, so the game's been given up. So it's going to be a fast rotation of the CTs. And oh, they've actually blocked them from going into B. And with that fast flank in T spawn, this is all sorts of problems. Yeah, he's going to find one frag. He can just try to back away now, try to play the contain game. They have to be so cautious here. These engagements can be very risky. Out comes the USP, knows he got the dink, but it's going to be a 3v3. It's actually backfired a little bit, that flank.
Ricke's still in apartments, and he probably heard Def move from the short position towards A. I don't know if he would have heard Shazam leave the market area, and Stanislaw will jump peek and see that there is still Ricke at the very least, so each team knows that one person is towards the B bomb site. But what do they do next? Smoke around the windows. Stanislaw is still alone. And if Rogue are going to commit to this, you have to wonder about the clock. Will they feel like the longer they wait, the more CTs might be in this position? Does a Complexity player go to push the A ramp to see what's going on? They might not need to anymore because there's money towards the vent position. That's Vice who gets taken out. There's a second player spotted, and now the game should be up.
Yeah, and I like how Complexity, you know, they didn't know. They didn't try to run around and gamble on which side it was. They just held their positions. Stan got 1 kill, and that's good enough to give a go of a B retake. Give it a go. Def will make his way in the B apartments. And Def needs to create space here for Shazam to make his way out of the shop, really cause some level of distraction. Or perhaps Shazam can do it for him. They are slowly but surely getting closer and closer. There's a spot. Hiko, unfortunately for him, bad timing. Now Ricke has to do... Oh, he's got it! Has he done enough? Is there time here? No, there's not! Ricke, what a beautiful sidestep. Just, what an assassin. Taking down the priority target.
Got to be quick. Got to have his crosshair in the right place. The wide peak, take him out. That is an assassination right there. That's a huge play from Rogue. We take a tactical timeout. Complexity may end up with a better buy, despite the circumstances. 2 Galils and a UMP. Oh, this is a much better buy. 2 UMPs, sorry, 1 UMP, 2 Galils for Rogue, and 1 Hiko still needs to buy something. Does he go grenades, or does he go no grenades and AK? Double AWPs for Complexity, double M4s. It's a big round. The first game in this best of 3. I think it's going to be tight all the way. I feel like it. I think the teams are close enough at this stage in their respective stories.
So some smokes in the middle. The fast mid take coming in here from Rogue. They're just going to run up short. Ricke is going straight in there. Very fast pace. Actually holding a position in towards the A site. Gets a pick as well into A. That is quite annoying for Complexity. Before they knew what hit them, they were playing a much slower pace. That said, Android is going to be taking down Ricke, who then found himself in the underpass.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He saw Ricke's shadow, and Ricke jumped into window. Ricke jumps back out again, and then dies. Cadian making a play with the bomb. I don't know if Android saw him, but he's planting it pretty quickly. I don't know if Sig would have had an angle if he went towards mid instead of T ramp, but it will be the latter. Def announces his position from the short area. Question for Rogue is, where is Stanislaw?
Where is Stanislaw? Time is slowly ticking away. Stan gets himself into position. Now Def will move forwards as well. In comes the smoke onto the bomb. The pressure begins to start here. Cadian undiscovered until now. He's bought a lot of time here with that frag, and Def, he's desperately searching for him. Around the smoke, gets the shot, but Cadian has done more than enough. Simply no time. Consolation for Def to hold on to the AWP, but that sucks for him.
Def back on home turf. I'm sure he would love to play in a major in London. What's our Complexity to do? Def with the AWP and Kevlar. Everybody else on $2,000-ish. So he will retain the AWP. Maybe the likes of Cadian will follow him around with hopes to pick it up. Cadian, what am I talking about? He's on the other team. I'm going out of my mind. Too much coffee. Well then, Ye has been taken out, and already it might be a case of trying to save this AWP. Operation Save the AWP. Stanislaw going towards CTA. Def is gone, as is the AWP. Shazam might be able to collect it. Although expecting that, Sick will eliminate him. Not sure what there is for Stanislaw to achieve at this point. He may get cut off by Cadian. Indeed he will. Right then. Back on the buys. Everybody is at least $50 short of a sniper rifle here for Complexity. So they may have no answer to Cadian's ruthless aggression. Cadian is 21 for 11. I don't know how he feels, but I feel like he's playing the best he's ever played. Best I can remember him playing, for sure. We were told stories earlier, because this team, I think, I'm pretty sure they're based in Vegas, or at least Cadian is, and he's just grinding. Not in the clubs, but on the servers. 3 rounds between the two sides. Rogue asking questions of Complexity towards the A side. You can see Ye is ready for some counter grenades for a push, but Rogue are just trying to make it expensive early for Complexity, trying to expend their utility, and they've done a good job. Def has a molly. Ye with a smoke, and that's it.
Yeah, that sucks. It's good though, because Complexity realise that they have this issue, and they're trying to take it into their own hands by initiating some aggression. Oh, that's brilliant timing from Shazam. He knows that's all he needs to get. He tries to dart out of there as well before retaliation. And indeed, he is going to be able to avoid any kind of response. Vice trying to take initiative now, but he will fail against the A. And now all of a sudden, it's a 5v3 with 40 seconds remaining. So Rogue, they've only got one nade set. And that's on Sick. Molly, smoke, flash. That's not good. That's not great. The defense on Complexity's side of things will be made much easier by that fact. Hiko really needs to... They've got to go. They can't wait for Hiko. They've got to go.
Are
20
they going
seconds.
at all, though?
Okay, maybe they're not, yeah. That's a good point. With the nades they have, I guess they are just saving then. Yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? You get a play gets picked off, another one of your players tries to make a play, that fails, and then you just say, okay, well, let's just save then. Okay, let's just save.
Vice will have some money, and Cadian he's got 4,400, so they can have quite a reasonable buy around this. Hiko can buy utility. So I think that's a good decision, rather than running to their doom. If they lose this round, they've got two rounds before Complexity tie the score to build some more money. So that's it. They don't want to lose those rounds, but that's the situation they're in. These are the considerations one has to make as part of your decisions.
It's nice, isn't it, for Complexity? They survived for 5, so they're working on building a buffer of money too. And so they're going to start... If they're able to have a success around here, there's going to be a lot of comfort that they'll start to be experiencing, although, of course, they are still 2 rounds behind their opponents. So very close game now on our hands as we enter the third phase, or the last third of the map. Or we're entering the 4th quadrant soon, as James would say.
The 4th quadrant, that.
The last of the quadrants.
Second half of the second half.
Yes, and Rogue with a lot of focus towards middle soon. Delayed mid take, 3 ready to burst onto top mid, but they're waiting for the players on underpass to synchronize with them first. And that can be really useful because it can help to, if there is any presence on connector, you can sort of attack it from 2 angles and also have presence to deal with any window plays from the CTs. So it's one of the more methodical ways to take middle. Although the CTs are looking like they want to investigate. Def taking a more forward position around short, looking for any players who could be boosted around connector. But still, not too much action just yet.
With Def's movement, I feel like he heard Hiko running away from where Rikke is currently standing, which made him fall back into the site somewhat. The bomb is now moving into the B apartment, so there may be a slight suggestion of this based on a few footsteps for Complexity. Good timing on that smoke grenade. Look at the time on the clock. That is a problem. But Complexity do not have any further info with which to send in a rotation. Sick is in the connector position. He could try to offer a fake or something to pull people out slightly out of position. And surely Stan doesn't get two here. Doesn't get one. Goes between them instead. And Def has a lot of trouble. He's got a teammate by the window. But can he survive? He's exposed towards short as well. Shazam has a pillar though. 15 seconds. He needs to stay alive. But he goes wide and Ricky takes his face off. Android now. Does he gamble push through the smoke to try to stop the plant from going down? He thinks surely someone has the angle, and Enrique eventually does, and that leaves Ye to run away.
Yeah, not much to do now. A good round from Rogue. Again, you know, they started things off very methodically, trying to take mid control. There was some thoughts from Complexity to try to potentially challenge, but Rogue were very effective and managed to build things into a B push. So again, we're seeing a nice multi-phased, you know, round built by Rogue, ending on B. And the thing which is great as well in why it's so needed to take middle is just because you can create a lot of opportunities that perhaps you weren't initially looking for as well. So Rogue, 13 rounds, and again, they've shown us you know, a good consistent basis of ways for them to win rounds. And if we think about how things have gone after the initial 3 rounds that followed the pistol, Complexity have not had success. They've had 1 round in which they've won buy against buy. That is not a good history for them. Rogue are looking like right now they're on the path to taking Mirage against Complexity. Obviously their money's not fantastic, but Complexity don't have much to fight with here. I mean, the Ye could drop one, but his teammates, I mean, no one else can really buy properly unless they want to have like 2 rifles and 3 UMPs. There's not really much else that they can have in this round, so we'll see a half buy, which will allow Rogue, if all goes according to plan, to get to 14 rounds. So very tough spot for Complexity now. Things are getting really, really dodgy for them.
Ye immediately out of the picture. Shazam in no man's land. Android is looking to salvage the M4, but this is already more or less a non-round for Complexity. There the M4 goes again. 2 players remain versus 5. Stanislaw will be a lamb to the slaughter. Lambeslaw. Now Def on the A site. Ooh. Says hello to Cadian. Hello. Perhaps it will be another salvage mission for the M4A4. On the subject of salvage missions, all those that school of Thai footballers were all rescued from the cave along with their coach, which is really good news. I thought there would be numerous deaths. I'm glad to hear that they're not. Speaking of Def wants to get away from this mid position, but he won't. Rogue now 2 rounds away from victory. Let's see what money Complexity have. Shazam can pick up an AWP if he wants. He won't have a lot else, and he will do exactly that. $14-10. It's looking good for Rogue right now. If they're able to win this round, it's pretty much done. Mid push coming in from the CT's Complexity. Ooh, Caden, you can see he's, wow, very fast adjustment there. Searching, scanning, looking for these players who were pushing below him. He knew that they were there. His teammates were getting absolutely ruined by them, but there's just not too much that he could do about it. Vice opens up onto the A site. This is the perfect way for them to get back into the round. Hiko looking for the bomb. He's got it, but how does he get onto the A site? He knows, he surely must know there's a player around this area, and he won't find him in time. Ye takes him out for free. And Vice now has the battle, pulls out the molly very quickly there, and that will help to put him out of position, but more headshots are required, and it's Android to be delivering the frag. Complexity with the mid push are able to take their second buy versus buy round. Right then. Tactical timeout from Rogue. If Complexity lose this round, they should lose the game. If Rogue lose this round, Do they force up in the next? Probably not. It's getting pretty tight. Pressure is starting to rise. Nobody on game point just yet. Plenty of utility now for Complexity thanks to that round win. A better equipped team may have better results. Do they expect something funky or fast, perhaps, from Rogue after this tactical timeout? And if so, how will they respond? 3 players heading towards the A site. Ye will be alone in the B bomb site, so it seems they think it's going to be some kind of A play. Got the usual smokes in mid that we've seen in this game so far, and Rikke may try to jump into the window, but Def can see him. Def will swat him. He's gone. Hiko and Cadian moving towards B with the bomb. Sick in mid, and Vice is on the ramp. 3 smokes down around mid, 1 in B, all starting to dissipate.
Lots of time left, though, to work with. Well, I think... Okay, some steps might have been heard from Hiko there. He may know that there is a second player close, because he must also be banking on... Okay, lots of noise made for Hiko to hear. And you can see he's moving now. He's hearing his CTs move around. Spots Def. He's going to have to chase this one down. Def very weak. Adjusting to Ye. Does some good damage, all things considered. But Ye's still alive, running amok around the bomb site, and they are yet to breach the apartment, well, get from the apartments onto the bomb site, and that's a huge problem. The one thing that they do have going in their favor is there's 50 seconds left, and that is enough time to make a rotation, to make a play into A, and that's what they're going for. B is absolutely off limits here. Complexity in a really good spot to take back control of this game. They're starting to walk here. 30 seconds. Are they going for the save? I guess they have to be at this point, because there will not really be any time to get onto this A site. So it is indeed a save now.
Vice knows his blind spots. Definitely want to check on your way up. Holding on to what they have. It is likely an eco round for Rogue. If they were to push a site, they would expect a 2 versus 2 at this point, but there would be plant pressure, which means the CTs don't have to peek. And that would leave you very, very exposed, so they will hedge their bets.
But it's really awkward though, James, because it's going to be really difficult for them to buy together now. I mean, they'll, for losing this round, they'll get, what, $2,400? And that's enough for, 3 of them to buy. But presumably, if everyone gets wiped out, then Cadian and Vice are only going to have $2,500 into the next round when their teammates can buy AK and nades. So this might backfire massively that they didn't lose the AK and the AWP in the previous rounds.
Maybe they'll have to eco with a few pistols if they lose this. Yeah. And play at 14 apiece.
That said, an AWP and an AK, seen a lot less, do a lot more, so...
And again, as I mentioned on a previous situation, in a round such as this, you are looking to win, of course, not just do damage with a weapon such as an AWP, but it's important that your pistoling players don't run around and just get shot on your 2 versus 5. Because if you pick the right player, they can swarm, they can take positions, pick up additional weapons, maybe even a key grenade, and a lot can happen. See Hiko just jerking the S button, moving back, not giving any sound cues away, and not making any collisions with a Molotov to give a cue either. 40 seconds remain, and Rogue may be in for a reasonable split attempt of the A site.
Yeah, this is actually an impressive amount of map control that they have, and it does give an opportunity. Ooh, good AK spray comes in from Ye though. 3 players annihilated. So decisive is Ye with that AK. And he's up to 30 kills now, as the remainder of Rogue will be finished off. Very nicely done.
That was huge from Ye. He gets the first kill. You see the instant swarm attempts from the pistoling players, but there is no trade. No one else around at AWP. Hugely important play from him. Keeps good money on Complexity. Were they to lose this round, then they would have a very reasonable buy in the next one. So many key points to take away from that round, and indeed Rogue are going to have to go for the eco because the money is higgledy-piggledy. But this is still a very dangerous round. They've got plenty of flashbangs, a few smoke grenades, could go for the arch smokes, and of course those ever dangerous CZs. There's the first flash. Stanislaw spots 3 players. Fade away HE grenade will be good, but an M4 is even better, but only good for the 1 kill. Def misses a shot with AWP. And now Complexity have problems.
Yeah, the incendiary from Def will delay the plant attempt, so still no bomb plant. Still no bomb plant. 6 on the wrong side here. He needs to get into the sights for the bomb plant in the corner here. This is the only chance, and he's... Oh, I don't think there's enough time now. Needed to just go for the attempt straight away, I think. And no bomb plant, only 1 kill, so that's a bit unfortunate. But, I mean, of course, they still have enough money to get a full buy-in here, so that's okay. Although, I don't think anyone can really... Well, Ricky could actually afford an opened Kevlar, but no helmets, unfortunately. No helmet for him. But a Kevlar and a flash, perhaps? Yes, and a decoy. He's got a decoy out as well. So this is where it all comes down to this here. For these teams, Rogue take the tactical. You got to give it to Complexity. They've been doing quite well. I really felt like that first half, Rogue were looking quite dominant. Obviously, they got lots of very strong rounds in, and we saw really good performances. And Complexity have just sort of been grinding their way back into this one. Because Rogue have been on 14 rounds for a little bit now.
4 rounds in a row for Complexity. 4 rounds in a row. After a flurry of rounds earlier on this half from Rogue. Well then, this is the big one. 3 players around A with the window smoked off. For Complexity. Smoke down in window, smoke down in B apartments. Rogue being very patient. 3 players top mid. Seems eventually they may burst, but I mean, we've seen angles being held like this from Rogue before. We've seen it on a ramp where they're just waiting to see if they can catch somebody off guard or having a missed time to play. But this time they will advance into the mid position around the minute 20 mark. For 3 smokes on these players. Ricky taking the AK. Alrighty then. What is the plan here? Vice and Hiko moving through the B apartments. Could they be setting up for a split of the B site? 2 smokes have been deployed. 1 in the window. There's a smoke down on the balcony, and there's the short B smoke, so they are going for the quick play. Sick will take down a blind Stanislaw. Really simple play coming out from Rogue, but will it be good enough? Shazam missing the second shot. Huge issues for Complexity. They may have to start thinking about saving here.
Unless Def can do something, that's a good start. The player at bench, though, provides a lot of issue. Hiko shows his presence, and his presence is very dangerous. Hey, just charging up there, trying to get the kill through the bench position. It's going to work out here. Ye taking initiative. Android follows up. Now down to Vice in the 1 versus 2 against Def and Android. That bomb is only freshly planted. He's got to buy a lot of time, and they are very, very close. The smoke... Oh, God, wow. Very nice from Def. Works out exactly where he had to be standing. Puts one straight through the wall and straight through his opponent. Complexity. Very nice retake. It was on a razor's edge, the timings on that. That
first kill from Def was huge. If he goes down there, they're definitely turning around and saving Complexity. This is a massively key frag. He got blocked by a smoke grenade as well as he was coming out, which makes it so hard because it slows down your velocity. It's a problem, but he forced the issue and gives game point to Complexity. British man on British soil, looking to play in a British major.
That would be something. Ooh, fast push into the B site. Spray laid down by Stanislaw, but it's not enough. Complexity now having to retake the B bomb site again, but this time locked out. I don't think there is a great window of opportunity here. Rogue clearly understand that the previous round should have gone to them, and they will take that B bomb site by force. And they have a 5-man setup here. How do Complexity get in? It's so difficult. They'll try to make the move now, but Ricket will come out, and there's another player in his position to deal with those players. Shazam, will he look left? There's players all over the place still, as Hiko will deal the damage to Def as he jumps through the window. Shazam trying to get to the bomb here. He's actually trying to hold it, but the knife comes in from Cadian, and it's overtime, and I feel like this game it had to be overtime. It just had to be, didn't it? It's so hard to separate these teams.
Yeah, cliche, kind of obvious, but there is nothing between these two teams, of course, at 15-15. It is pretty damn tight. So much on the line for Rogue and Complexity here. Complexity all in on this first round of Mirage CT. Shazam and Def with AWPs. Will Rogue be prepared for this? Will they be able to react, to respond to this? Seems we may have fast plays up top mid with 4 Ts, but no one's going to challenge. Shazam's on his way towards Connector, but they are coming so fast. That smoke will be important, but just with the AWP, they may try to punish him. Misses his first shot. He's not on the mark today, Shazam, and this is when they really need him.
And look at the opportunity for Hiko, able to have loads of space to just jump through the window. And, oh wow, it caught Stan off guard, but he still gets the kill. Android, 3 players to worry about. Vice already seeing pixels and tagging him up before he gets an opportunity to do anything. And they are falling like flies. Vice with some good entries. And that's the first round, I think. Yes, the smoke there locking Def out of position. And Stan has got no HP at all. So indeed, it will be around the first round of overtime going to Rogue. It's quite scary actually, because they've found some good solutions on their T side of late. So they must be very confident in this overtime.
That is a solid change of pace from Rogue. 4 players charging up mid, very quick to Connector, catching Shazam off guard, and he misses his first shot. After that, he is a goner. And again, we said it was an all-in play, and you will soon see what is left here for Complexity in the second round of overtime. They have a combined $550 in the bank. If they lose this, the odds of a 3-0 are so high for Rogue. It's their round to lose, but first, Rogue needs to get through this round. Shazam has an AWP once again. And this time there is a big focus on aggression. Look at the reaction from Complexity. Ye holding the underpass. Android waiting for something to happen top mid. And Def is not too far away in the ladder position as well. But how long will they hold this for? There's a smoke down deep in the B apartment. So now there is no one in A at all. Shazam in Connector. Seems they are shell-shocked by the previous round.
Yeah, so slow after that fast one. The Complexity of some good real estate. But what will they do with it? At the moment, it is very much a retake territory for them. There's no one in the site, and the smokes will start to rain in. So do they I mean, in reality, you want them to sort of wait the smokes out, let the plant go down. Oh, that's a lovely shot through the smoke from Shazam. A free one. That sucks for Rogue. But Complexity will be happy with that. You can see they are waiting here. Wait for all of them to get, all the teammates to get in position. That is a very bold boost. And they are still doing more damage.
That boost is genius. To watch people going towards CT or being around Toll Booth. While Shazam flashbanged earlier, it bought time for Android to start rotating. He is making his way into the Palace at the moment, and there are 4 players coming from around the Connector jungle position. 5-on-4 retake attempt from Complexity. Android still making his way towards that Palace position, and he could be huge. And now it's almost a role reversal with 2 Ts in CT, and the frags continue. Vice and Hiko remain now. That bomb is so far ticked. Surely they can't do this. Vice has to be the hero. They're both blind. Transferring, but he's looking the wrong way. But Android's off the bomb, and that will be the round for Rogue. Nothing left for Complexity. Everybody gets wiped out.
These T rounds have been so strong. It's very, very much like, you know, how they started things off. Their pace is really quick and it's very decisive. And indeed, 4 CZs, a Deagle, a good amount of utility, but oh dear, this is rough. And the thing is that Rogue know exactly the money situation too, so they know what Complexity have in their hands right now. It's not very much, and they know to expect the pushes, and so Cadian's just waiting for it. And so without some just bloody good flashbangs, you're not getting in there. And Complexity, they've lost a man, and really the numbers advantage could be something that they needed to use to work in their favor. But they've lost that opportunity. And look at Rogue just They're just waiting. They're letting the desperation set in. They're waiting for the mistake. And there's another kill for Ricket.
When all-ins go wrong in overtime. This is a prime example. With the full wipeout, no less. Def and Android remain versus 4. Def trying to make it happen in T-spawn, but T-spawn is for Ts today. Android rotating now, and it will be a 1 versus 3 on the A bomb site, unless he goes through jungle, then Ricket could make a play as well, coming through the underpass. Desert Eagle. 2 players could be 1 digged. Ricket in mid. You probably heard the clip from the Molotov. So much utility. 3 smoke grenades for Rogue. This is death by paper cuts for Android. He doesn't have a kit, but he has been put out of his misery. 3 game points now for Rogue versus Complexity on Mirage.
That is rough. How do you? It's gonna be so hard for them to deal with it. I mean, they had some good rounds on their T side, so you don't want to doubt them. But Rogue looks so decisive, and they can just get the ops out straight away. They can go to double ops and just have the confidence because they know they just need 1 round. So it's a really scary spot for Complexity. We've got to see all the composure. But yesterday against NRG, we did see that composure. We saw that tenacity, the grit, the determination coming through in full force for them yesterday. Need to summon that once more here as they are up against the wall against Rogue on map 1 in this best of 3. Looking to grab a major spot. That is, for both of these teams, so incredibly huge. It's like the set piece onto the A side is the go-to here for Complexity. That's what they've picked as their best chance.
Def waiting in the underpass. Do wonder if they will try to plant for short. No one's pushing in just yet, though. They're slowly edging, and that gives Ricket a gratis kill. Still stuck in a choke point, our Complexity. Are they choking on this advantage here? Stanislaw making his way towards maybe a default attempt, but the smokes have gone by the time only he makes it. Ye and Shazam still in a choke point, still waiting for Rogue to peak, and it's working out for them. Def on that slow flank will run distraction with 2 kills, and this is falling to pieces for Rogue. Hiko alone now, 1 versus 4. Def taken out in connector. Nobody will be able to get to the CT position. And he is going for a very long rotation, but seems he will be saving, and Complexity will live to fight another day.
The thing about this, though, the difficult decision for Complexity is, and the mind games that now ensue is, of course they have to get 3 rounds in a row. So they know that round is good. It has been good in regulation as well. Do they run it again? Because this was really successful. And do they run the risk that Rogue might try to sort of hard counter it? Because Rogue can do that. They have the opportunity to, knowing again that they just need 1 round. The only issue is that they would have to play maybe a bit aggressively on B, or somehow get information on B to make sure that they don't just get rushed on B. That would be the one big problem of that. So very curious as to how both teams are going to handle this spot. Are they going to go for A again? Looks like they might be doing that. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Five smoke grenades around the mid position. Rogue can't see anything. They're guessing. KDM making his way towards the B bomb site, but here comes the push. Sick will be the one to pick off a player. Again, it's a slow push from Complexity, but there's no rotation just yet from Rogue. Hiko now starting to move away from the apartment, but Sick is delivering the kills, and Ricket still has control of CT. All of a sudden, there are 2 Complexity players left. They had advantages, but they were violently taken away.
I just love the response here from Rogue. As soon as they get that 4v2, you see immediately Ricket backs all the way to a very defensive position in CT spawn, so he cannot possibly get traded. He's not going to risk it. They're waiting for a plant to happen. That's going to give them some information. They can coordinate. They can work the 4v2 in a very sensible manner, a controlled manner. 3 coming from jungle for Rogue. They have Ricket still. CT spawn with the AWP. No nades here for the T's. And there's one smoke on Hiko. That could just absolutely ruin it. If that smoke's placed on Pit, there's just nothing they can do. And already Cadian takes down Shazam. Stan has to do it all, but he can't. And that's going to be that. Rogue have managed to do it in overtime. Incredibly decisive series of rounds. They kept their nerve, they kept their composure, and they made it happen.
Pretty much a tight game from start to finish with all the back and forth between these two teams, but it is Rogue taking the 1-0 in this series, the early advantages. If Complexity are going to do it, it is going to be the hard way, and that has been a story for them in this tournament so far, and perhaps it will continue. Well, it will continue in that fashion. Dust 2 is going to be the second map in this series with Inferno as the decider if we get that far.
I hope we do. That's a good map. That's a fun map. I've been enjoying it a lot lately. Ooh, it's a tough one between these two teams. I have no idea which way this one is going to go. They both have the quality to make this happen. I don't know. What do you stand, James? What do you after witnessing the overtime?
I mean, it was really, really damn close. And maybe the next map will be close as well. We will be back after the break. We'll see you back here in just a few minutes.